Welcome to the BrandWise podcast, where we talk about the big branding moves that business owners are making and the why behind it. I'm your host, Jess Freeman, here to help you be wise and be bold. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. We are diving right in because I want to talk about how having deep expertise or a beautiful brand alone isn't enough anymore. Not in 2025. Not when everyone with a weekend certification is now calling themselves a guru. The real power comes from the intersection of both, where your hard-earned expertise meets a strategic brand presence. It's about creating a digital presence across website, email, social, etc., that doesn't just look professional, but actually positions you as an authority. So today we're diving into why the most successful professionals are leveraging both to position themselves as true authorities and not just another option. They are able to attract clients who are sold before they even talk to them and build a sustainable business that doesn't depend on constant social media posts. Let's talk about what happens when you have a beautiful brand, but your expertise isn't shining through. I see this quite often, especially in the health and wellness space, because there are stunning websites with these perfect palettes and great photos that completely fail to convert people into clients. In this online business world, trust is your currency. And while beautiful branding might get someone to stop scrolling, it won't entirely get them to hand over their credit card or trust you with their health journey. Why? Because when your brand is all surface and no substance, it can cause people to be skeptic. In a world where everyone, or most everyone, looks polished online, potential clients have developed this sixth sense for detecting depth. They're not just looking for someone who looks professional, they're looking for someone who can actually solve their problems. And when you focus solely on the aesthetic, you miss opportunities to demonstrate your own expertise. Those blog posts that could be showcasing your unique approach, they're usually just generic wellness tips anyone could have written. Your about page that could be highlighting your specialized training and certifications and your approach, it's full of trendy phrases. The case studies that could be proving your impact are nowhere to be found. So let's flip the script and also talk about what happens when you have deep expertise, but your brand isn't doing it justice. We all know that person. We all have that one person, the one with years of experience, impressive certifications, plenty of client results, and they are somehow still the industry's best kept secret. They may even be your best friend. And I've seen many people get overlooked simply because their online presence doesn't match the level of their expertise. You might be the most qualified professional in your field, but if your website looks like it was built in 2016, and some of them literally were, potential clients will bounce. Your expertise means nothing if people can't find you or don't trust you at first glance. People are so quick to judge a book by its cover. That first impression is everything. I've had clients with multiple advanced degrees and decades of experience who are being outperformed by newbies with basic certifications, but better branding. One of my clients was getting pretty crushed in Google rankings by someone who wasn't actually an expert in their field, just because their competitor had a stronger online presence, especially when it came to SEO. And even when potential clients do find you, an outdated or inconsistent brand creates doubt and makes them immediately question whether you're really as experienced as you claim. It doesn't matter that you've helped hundreds of clients or that you're the go-to expert in your field. If your brand looks amateur, people assume your expertise is too. Without strong branding, your expertise gets lost in the noise. In a world where everyone claims to be an expert, your actual expertise needs a bigger platform. Otherwise, you're just another voice in a very overcrowded space, watching less qualified people book clients because they've figured out how to package and present their knowledge more effectively. So, what happens when you nail both brand and expertise? Magic. Okay, maybe not literal magic, but we're going to call it magic. So think about the people you admire most online, the ones who are truly crushing it. Notice how they all have something in common. Their expertise isn't just present, it's amplified by their brand. Every piece of content they put out, every page on their website, every social post reinforces both their knowledge and their unique perspective. When your brand and expertise align, your authority becomes undeniable. Your website stops being just a pretty face and becomes a conversion machine, which sounds so so much like jargon. But that's what happens. And what really sets you apart, while others are still stuck being either the qualified but invisible expert or the all style, no substance influencer, you become unforgettable. Your expertise gives your brand depth, and your brand gives your expertise a spotlight. And then you are not just another option, you're the expert people remember, trust, and want to work with. I have seen it happen over and over with my clients. When we align their visual presence with their actual expertise, they stop competing on price or fighting for attention in Instagram DMs. Instead, they start attracting clients who are already sold before they even hop on a discovery call. So let's get practical about how to actually combine your brand and expertise in a way that converts. Because contrary to what the just use Instagram business coaches will tell you, this isn't about picking pretty colors. It's about making decisions that showcase your authority. So first is your visual identity. Your visuals shouldn't just be aesthetically pleasing, obviously. They should communicate trust and credibility. If you are a functional medicine practitioner dealing with, all kinds of complex health issues, the cute pastel colors and handwritten fonts might be sending the wrong message. Now, I'm not against pastel colors, but sometimes we need to elevate. You need a visual identity that reflects the seriousness of your work while still feeling approachable, because you can actually do both. It is possible. Think about your colors, your fonts, and images, and how they can reflect both your expertise and your personality. Here's where most people mess up. They stop at the pretty stuff because that's the fun part. Your messaging needs to do the heavy lifting too. This isn't about bland, I help people get healthy statements. It's about crafting headlines and copy that showcase your unique perspective and your expertise. What if, for example, you stopped calling yourself a holistic nutritionist and started saying the gut health detective for women who've tried everything? That is more engaging. And then your content strategy is where you really get to flex both muscles. Every blog post, podcast episode, video should be strategically chosen to demonstrate your expertise while staying true to your brand. So stop creating random content just to feed the social media beast. Instead, let's create content that positions you as the go-to expert in your niche. One of my clients really leaned into this, and she grew from 3,000 to 15,000 monthly website visits. And your website is where it all comes together. Your homepage shouldn't just look pretty. It should immediately communicate your authority. Your about page is not your life story. That is one of the biggest mistakes I see. It is a piece on your website that builds trust through credentials and experience. And yes, a little bit of your story. The case studies shouldn't be buried in a corner. They should be front and center, showing potential clients exactly what you can do for them. Every element of your online presence should be doing double duty, building your brand while showcasing your expertise. And this balance is so tricky to get right. Most people swing too far in one direction. They either get really caught up in looking professional that then they water down their expertise to fit into a trendy template, or they're so focused on proving their knowledge that they neglect how they're presenting it, and it does not look great. I've seen people with PhDs using kitty fonts on their websites, and it does not work. A lot of business owners think that they have to choose between being authentic and being professional. They worry that somehow a polished brand will make them seem less approachable, or that sharing their deep expertise will make them seem intimidating. But your brand should amplify your authenticity, not hide it. And your expertise should make clients feel more confident in working with you, not less. So here is a quick self-audit to see where you're at with your own brand and expertise. First, pull up your website. Does it reflect the level of transformation you provide? Are you showing up in a way that matches your expertise? If there is a disconnect between your knowledge and how you're presenting it, that is your first red flag. Here's where you can start strengthening this connection. First, again, we're going to go back to the homepage. This is the first impression. Are your credentials and your unique approach front and center, or are they buried somewhere on the page, really overshadowed by some generic stock photos? Next, look at your testimonials. Are they strategically placed to build trust, or are they just kind of randomly scattered across your site? And then third, review your content. And this could be, yes, mostly website content, but this could also apply to social media. Does it actually demonstrate your expertise, or are you just repeating the same basic wellness tips that everyone else shares? I know you didn't spend years building your expertise just to become an amateur web designer. Just like your clients come to you for special knowledge, sometimes you need to bring in experts to help you showcase that knowledge effectively. So if you're ready to stop being the industry's best kept secret and start having a website that works as hard as you do, then let's talk. Your expertise deserves better than a cookie cutter template or a Linktree page. Your brand and expertise aren't separate entities. They're two parts of the same story. And when you align them correctly, that is when the magic happens. That's when you stop competing on price and start attracting clients who are already sold on working with you. That's when you build a sustainable practice that doesn't depend on constant social media presence. It's time to give your expertise the platform it deserves. If you want to chat about your website or have questions about anything I talked about in today's episode, as always, you can DM me at Just Creatives on Instagram or go to my website, justcreatives.com. Otherwise, I will see y'all next week. If today's branding story inspired you and you're ready to start your own rebrand adventure, head over to justcreatives.com/rebrand to explore how we can work together on your brand. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure to leave a review or share it on Instagram, and tune in next week for another episode.